Hello and welcome to my thoughts on Manehattan Mysteries. If you haven't read it yet, you can click here and I'll read it for you. Alright, everyone ready? Let's go. Wait, actually, quick update. For the next few-ish videos, the audio quality may or may not differ. I am currently recording in a different spot. My laptop died, so we'll see how this goes. But don't worry, I was able to save all of my video recordings, so it shouldn't delay any uploads. Alright, now let's go. So, Applejack, Rarity, and Fluttershy go to Manhattan to see a show. Whether they are privy to it being Trixie's magic show, who knows? And also, Apple Bloom and Babs are here. Why wasn't Twilight, Rainbow, or Pinkie invited? Who knows? Why didn't Apple Bloom or Rarity invite Sweetie Belle? Who knows? And with the praise and adoration she deserves, the great and powerful Trixie steps onto the stage. Or smoke bombs onto the stage. So Trixie does some magic stuff, and then we get into the plot. She is helping the police catch a jewel thief. And she's doing a damn good job because that thief fell right into her trap. The thief just couldn't resist snatching up Trixie's juicy little diamond. But little did she know, it was a fake with a GPS tracker. What? But somehow our beloved heroine got counter-duped, and the fake diamond is now under Applejack's hat. How does she not feel someone touching her hat and placing a rock upon her head? So they go check on the real diamond, and then poof, a smoke bomb detonates. Which is a very well-researched plan, considering that's Trixie's signature item. But anyway, turns out the real diamond also had a GPS tracker on it. And unfortunately, the frame job has been complete. The real diamond was under Trixie's hat. So then Trixie jumps out a window, and now the girls help Trixie clear her great and honorable name by trying to find the real thief. So it's kind of weird that the plot is set up slowly throughout the entirety of the first part. I don't think it's bad per se, but it is interesting. But I kind of think it works out pretty well since the story isn't exactly complicated. We're just like slowly being drip-fed plot development, while the filler content is pretty well woven between it. I don't know if that translated that well, but what I mean is, every few pages, we discover something new about the plot. And it's not just us, the main characters themselves are also learning about the plot. And as they learn new information, it's directly driving their actions, further leading to new plot development. The storytelling is very active, which in turn makes it more enticing to follow along. But too long didn't listen. This story flows well, so far. And that brings us to part 2. The girls have just found a piece of map in Trixie's mane, which conveniently shows the thief's next target. Somehow Rough Diamond ripped and dropped a piece of map while she was placing the diamond under Trixie's hat. Why she was holding a map while doing this, and how it ripped? Who knows? That is apparently the catchphrase for this video. And now our crew splits into 2 groups. Apple Bloom and Fluttershy head to the museum, and the other 4 do something else. And Team 1's objective is pretty straightforward. Search the museum for Hoof Ant. And wow, what do you know, it's right there, 4 hoof pendant. Problem solved. And now Team 2's objective of find information, which basically comes up fruitless and doesn't have a point. This is my biggest problem with this story. From the moment we leave the museum to the moment we go back to the museum. So there's 3 scenes that play out during this period. Scene 1, Trixie and Babs doing character development. Scene 2, Rarity interrogating the shopkeeper. And Scene 3, everyone reconvening to go over what they learned. I really only have a problem with Rarity's scene. Like, oh wow, Rough Diamond's cutie mark is a diamond, who would have thought? Scene 2 literally sets up that it's going to be plot development. And it's just dangling there in front of her face. Oh, here's your daily dose of plot, and then it gets thrown away. I mean, Rarity even acknowledges this in Scene 3. What'd you guys learn? Nothing. And because Scene 1 and Scene 3 also don't have new information, it just feels like all 3 scenes fall flat. But anyway, it's time to move on. I'll touch on this more later. The girls head to the museum, and luckily, it's the same night Rough Diamond shows up. Now, I literally just called it luck, but it could also be construed as good planning on the part of Rough Diamond. Like, if her goal is really to frame Trixie, she's executed it very well. So Rough Diamond smokes him, and in the struggle, everyone triggers the very high-tech rope security system, and BAM! The police march right in and arrest every pony. The end. Or at least that's what Rough Diamond thought would happen, but unfortunately for her, she gets starlighted, and her cutie mark is revealed. And true, this is the only identifying feature the girls have learned about Rough Diamond, but I mean, I'm sure lots of ponies have a diamond as a cutie mark. It's not like the shopkeeper described it in any way. He just said a diamond. It's not exactly hard evidence. But regardless, she gets arrested, confesses to everything, and every pony lives happily ever after. The end. I actually really wanted to make a Leon reference, but I mean, she doesn't really talk too much, so I didn't really know where to fit it in.
I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories. You need evidence. Where's the evidence?
And also, I kind of got off script a few too many times maybe, so I didn't really want to again. Also, on a related note, something that's really odd about these two issues, there's a surprising lack of goofs. I mean, maybe it's just because of the cast, but there's not that many funny moments. Like, Trixie's show is kind of funny. Applejack's reaction to the diamond being under her hat's kind of funny. Officer Trotter searching under Rarity's dress and her being pissed about it's kind of funny. But for the most part, everyone's pretty serious all throughout. So I hope my contributions help fill in the blanks. So, TLDR, part 1 was super smooth and I really liked it a lot. And part 2 has an awkward first half. I mean, it starts off strong. Apple Bloom and Fluttershy find Rough Diamond's next target. And then it transitions into a recap about Trixie and Babs. And like, that's fine, but I mean, we already know that stuff. And sure, it follows up with Rarity Noir, which I'm always down for. But in the end, that turns out to be a flop and they don't find out any information. Well, I guess technically it wasn't Rarity Noir. I made it Rarity Noir, but that was obviously the correct choice. And then after that, it follows up with the girls recapping everything that just happened, which again, we know all about. And I guess you could say that, oh no, it's actually so important that Babs knew Rough Diamond's cutie mark was a diamond. It's how she caught her in the end. But like, not really? The girls had already sussed out that Rough Diamond had stayed in the theater in disguise, and the suspect pool was down to a cop, the theater director, or Trixie's assistants. And only one of those parties showed up at the museum, so we're looking for a cop in disguise. And how might a pony disguise themselves? Well, they've only got 2 identifying features, their mane and their cutie mark, so I just wish the shopkeeper had said something else that was slightly more helpful. Like, what if the concept of paint had been brought up sometime before the very end? Like, what if Rarity saw it on the stolen gems? I don't know, just something. But other than those problems, I think the rest of part 2 is pretty alright. I think Babs does a good job of explaining how she figured out who the thief was, and the Babs and Trixie moments are pretty cute. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until next time.
Without evidence, it's all bullshit. It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it.